Welcome to Pagan Crafting. I'm your host, Cara. Today we have a 90s Whimsy Celestial Yule Ornaments coming your way. I have taken some flair from the 90s and brought it on back with some of these cool ornaments, some celestial theme, some little witchy flavor, some vibe that I think you may like. Join me today as we have some fun making some 90s Whimsy Celestial Ornaments. Starting off with these little wood pieces, these are about 2 3/4 inch round, almost 3 inches. So I've designed some PDF downloads to fit them perfectly for you. Access to these PDF downloads are available on my Pagan Crafting Patreon and Etsy store. Links are always in the description for you for super easy access. I have the Draco constellation, the Orion's belt, I have the Big Dipper, I have some celestial action here. Now I like this one. I got the moons and the suns. So I got the 3 suns, 3 moons, and then I have the filler witchy stuff that's in between. So these you'll be able to download and color however you would like it. If you're not interested in coloring, get a friend to color, get your younglings to color, and get your grandchildren to color. You could use pencil crayon. If you print it out on cardstock like I've done here, I've gone with a thicker paper, and I'm going to be using watercolor on mine. Felt pen totally works, and it's much faster too. So, rocking in some washes, let's paint this, shall we? So what I've done first is bring in some water, and I'm going to just bring in some wash of the darker blues. I'm going to keep a palette of the royal blues, this midnight blue with some violet purple, as well as I'm going to be bringing in golds. So I guess more like a sunflower gold, maybe a little bit of touch of some deeper ones with that for some low tone, some contrast. And I'm going to be bringing in some burgundies over top of the gold. So I'm mainly going to be staying within the gold and royal blue palette to go with the 90s whimsical celestial theme that I've going to stick to. But we're going to have some fun with the drawings. These ones are all hand drawn by me. They're just very elementary, super easy. I just want them very easy to be able to paint by, not much detail. So you can just do complete washes right over this if you want. You can get out your metallics and have some fun with that too. You can start off with your alcohol ink felt markers and then bring in some pencil crayon on top of that. It makes a really rather rich effects as well. Just lots of layering. I tend to work a couple designs at once. I did a gold first, didn't like it, came back with a deeper, richer, kind of a lion yellow. Taking a white wash or water wash around the edges and then just blending it up through there. Now I found my cauldron went a little bit dark, and as well as I found my little potion bottle was a little light. So I let those dry. Come back to them later. You can keep coming back and doing little layers, and don't overwork it, especially on cardstock paper. Cardstock paper is not really meant for watercolor, so not too many layers at once. Let it dry, come on back. I love this little hat. It's so cute. You can definitely tell that's from an astrology witch. Yay. Lots of royal blues, lots of golds. You can bring purple over top of the golds after it's dried. You can also use a slight burgundy over top of the golds too, and it will give it a really beautiful effect without having to bring in like a gray shading over top of the yellow. Rocking in some stars with some gel pens. Let those dry for a bit, then we're going to come back to that. Now my Draco constellation here, it's just a simple wash. Boom, done. Yeah, simple wash again, water, whatever. I have too much blue, so I'm bringing in back some of that teal. Wash of water again, bringing in some violet, and pushing the paint all the way up to the top. Now I'm just going to bring in a royal blue background on this one. Gonna bring in some yellows here, but then I took some lion yellows in the corners of the tips of the stars later on, as well as every other line on the nautical stars. Now I really like that deeper yellow, and here it is here on the nautical stars. Just some lion yellow for some contrast. Now I did go back in with some of that midnight blue around the edges of the stars because some of the yellow seeped over the blue, so I decided to sharpen it right up there. Sharpen it up, punch it back out. I guess I should have painted maybe my stars first and then went in with the blue, but that's okay. I'm feeling whatever color's coming out. Bringing in some little stars for the background. I like watercolor, it dries so quick, it's easy to manipulate and add layers to. I really love the royals together. And then again, some of that lion yellow for some contrast here, and I dabbed a bit off there, I had too much on it, and go back with a lighter yellow and blend it in. Now that the background of the star constellations are dry, you can go back in really, really, really quick and little, and you can make smaller stars, or it can be snow, whichever you dig on. Now here I'm coming in with the lion yellow as well as some of the burgundies. Now that this is dry, coming back again with just an exact same shade of purple as I did in the beginning, a very light wash. And I just figured the potion bottle needed a little bit more, so that's cool to come back and sometimes you just gotta leave it, you don't know what to do with it. Come back, it'll let you know what it wants to be. Sometimes you just gotta paint everything around it and then wait for the last thing. All the other colors will tell it what to do. I love these suns, just some old school 90s Celestial. I used to be a tattoo artist long time ago, and these were some of the common tattoos that were also chosen by the feminine type of clients as well. And this one too, I wound up still having a bit of yellow left on my brush, and I made a turquoise and I went with it, so I decided to fill it all in, go back with my midnight blue and just add some layers to it, and I really liked how it turned out. It was an accident because I wasn't supposed to use that color, but I really liked how it turned out. So I did paint over the stars in the center of the moon, so I go back over that later on with a gel pen when that paper's dry. Add some stars to that. Now this eye, you can paint whatever color you would like. Whatever you see fit here. Not sure why I painted the whites of the eyes yellow, but I did, so we're moving on with that one. I have to come back to that and kind of see what I can do to touch that one up. Not quite feeling it, but I do fix it here as when I bring in some lion yellow. I also come back in with a liner pen and really punch that right back out, and I feel like I really saved that diamond eye celestial design there. Because for a while there I was sad that one of my favorite drawings, I didn't do a very good job painting it. But I found as soon as I relined it with my outliner pen that it really punched it right back out and it saved it. I'm happy with it. Bringing in a sapphire on her diamond in the middle of the eye there, I guess it would be his. And then bringing in the royals around the edges. Using the 5 elements here, because we have 5 spaces, so might as well use them all: spirit, water, earth, fire, and air. Bringing in some lion yellow to make a difference between the air that I've chosen there. And here I decide to go back and re-outline it. And taking a pencil here, I'm just reformatting the circle around it so I can see where to cut it out. It's best that you color outside the lines. So when you go to cut your circle out, it goes right to the edge, because you can see here I didn't go right to the edge there. So now, you know, that was one of the later ones I've done. And you know what? It's watercolor. Just let it be. Let it go. And it lines up quite nicely. So if you get these little wood cookies here, little wood pieces, you can find them off Temu or Amazon. I'm sure they'd be on Wish too. But I know for sure I got mine off Temu, so they'd be on Amazon for you there too. Now that these are all cut out, we're going to glue these on. We're going to use some Mod Podge. Now you could use a matte, which I have here, or you can use a gloss. We are going to seal these afterwards with a gloss, so it doesn't matter which one you have. Or you could use a matte finish. I'm going to go with a high gloss, I think, when I'm done here. So I found these being cardstock. They were curled a little bit due to the watercolor paint. So I wound up putting them face down on this wax paper you see here, and then I did put a weight on top of it to help keep it down because it was curling up when it was drying. So if you have some books or something, put a little wax paper between your books and the paper so you don't get any glue on your books, and the books will just help keep it squished down for you. All right, now that those are all glued on and dried, I'm going to go in. You could either use some sandpaper, or what I'm using here is just an emery board. It is the perfect sandpaper consistency you will need for your wooden crafts or your crafts. And it holds so easy in the hand. So I'm going on my edges, just anything that is a little bit over the edges. And also I like the white finish. It looks pretty sweet. Gives it a little rougher feel to it. Whitens up the edges. I like it. Coming in with my metallics, I got some beautiful royal metallic blue and some beautiful golden metallic. I'm going to be painting just the tips of these. I'm not sure what I'm going to do on the back of these just yet. So I think I either am going to do another exact same picture on the back before I hang it on my tree, or I might just paint it the corresponding color as the tip of the ornament. So you can see here I've just left them wood, and I think I'm gonna, whatever the tip of the ornament is I'll paint the probably corresponding on the back. Okay, now that those are all done and dried, I did kind of opposite. I did the blue with the gold, and then the gold with the purple, the gold with the blue. Now we're going to bring in some gloss. You can go matte if you dig, but I really like an ornament that's shiny and pretty. So let's hit that with some high gloss Mod Podge. And if you do a thin coat here, I went a little bit thicker. I see I'm trying to take a little bit off there. And if you go a little bit thinner than that, it'll be dry in like 10 minutes or less. There we have it. Look at that. Perfect. Without using varnish. I love the shine on them. Makes me happy. Bing! Serotonin release. Okay, now it came with some jute twine, so I'm going to be using that. So you can just, I'm going to cut it in half. It's a little bit long, but we should have enough for all your pieces. Threading it in on the top, tying a knot, throw it on your tree. There we go. Let's have a look at the reveal. Well, this is what we have here today. Now you can go with any theme, any color that you like. Use some of these ideas for inspiration. I hope you enjoy the PDF downloads. Again, you can get that on my Patreon as a paid member, or you can purchase that on my Etsy store, Pagan Crafting. Well, thanks so very much. As always, I love hanging out with you. Do you know that? I sure do. Well, have yourself an absolutely magical day.